Cardinals lineup as they hope to win the series here this afternoon. Begins with Matt Carpenter. He'll play third base. Oscar Taveras will be in right field and hit second. Holliday, Craig, and Peralta in the middle. John Jay will be in left field this afternoon. Mark Ellis gets the start at second. And Peter Borges, last 4 games, 5 for his last 13 with a home run, will be in center. And again today, all 3 games in this series, Tony Cruz will catch and bat ninth for the Cardinals. Jaime Garcia, Tony Cruz, and Blaze Illsley walking in from the Cardinal bullpen. Tony Cruz did an outstanding job here yesterday.
Well, he always does. You know, he caught the second shutout by Miller, and he came up with a big base hit, driving in 2 runs. But they're going to be opposed by a youngster. This is his first season coming off of Tommy John surgery. Does have a complete game in his first 12 starts. 4-3, 350. Real hard thrower, and because of the Tommy John, they did back him off a couple days, more rest than his last time, and he responded with 7 very good innings against Detroit. And we'll see what we see here today. The first time any of our Cardinals are going to face the young right-hander.
Here's a look at Garcia making his 5th start. And we understand there is a late scratch in the Cardinals lineup, and we'll give that to you here momentarily. Matt Carpenter, the leadoff for St. Louis. Matt Holliday is a scratch here this afternoon, has back issues. He was slated to DH, so Yadier Molina will be in his spot. And he will hit third for the Cardinals for Holliday. So much for a day off. There's strike 1 from Hutchison.
Hutchison very confident in his ability.
Late swing and a foul.
Matter of fact, he told the Toronto pitching coach, he said, I'm going to be your 5th man. He goes, well, you know, come on, just once you get your work in, you're coming off of Tommy John's surgery. He goes, you don't understand. I'm going to be your 5th starter. Well, I know, we'll see how things go. But here he is, making his 13th start.
I guess you have to sell yourself in a lot of ways. There's the pitching coach, Pete Walker, for the Blue Jays. So you sell him verbally, but then you have to sell him with what you do on the mound, too. John Gibbons, the manager, celebrating a birthday here this afternoon.
John Gibbons, very interesting. His 2nd time at the helm of the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays.
The 1-2 to Carpenter. Hit hard, right side. That's handled by Tollison, the second baseman. And he throws out Carpenter. And we are underway here this afternoon. We'll take a look at the Toronto Blue Jays defense, and they're very good defensively. 2nd as far as fielding percentage in the American League. Brought to you by Dobbs. Cabrera, Pilar in center, Bautista in right, Reyes and Tollison up the middle. Laurie moves from 2nd to 3rd. Encarnacion moves to 1st. Eric Kratz behind the plate today, and Hutchison the pitcher. And this is their right-handed hitting lineup that the Blue Jays will use against left-handers. And they're seeing one today in Jaime Garcia.
And you can see defensively, it's a little different at second base. Collinson is the second baseman, but he doesn't play short right field like Laurie does. Brett Laurie is over at third base, and they say that's his natural position. You say as good as he plays second, he's that much better at third.
The 1-1 to Taveras. He takes a strike on the inside corner. Oscar still not untrapped yet, and there'll be a time, and it's coming. 3 for 16 on this road trip. 2-time minor league batting champion, Oscar Taveras.
A-ball, Double-A. He was the batting champion, also the Texas League Player of the Year when he was at Double-A Springfield. And then last year, the well-documented ankle injury that really kept him from playing. When he only had 46 games, so went into spring training a little tentative on that ankle, and in my mind, it was the best thing to send him down. You know, some thought if he had a real good spring, he could break with a big league club, but I thought it was important to get more at-bats, more experience at AAA before coming up.
Line to left, and it carries all the way to Cabrera. That ball hit too hard, unfortunately, for Oscar Taveras. Nice play.
I'll take a look at it. I'm not sure he needed to slide at the end of it. It looked like he'd already caught the ball before he starts to slide, but it looks good on the highlight reel.
So Yadier Molina, a late addition to the Cardinal lineup in place of Matt Holliday. Molina was supposed to get the afternoon off here completely, get another mental rest day, but now he finds himself in the third spot in the order, and he fouls that pitch straight back.
You know, Ricky, I think it still was going to benefit Yadi to have, you know, his mind was very relaxed before the game. Long time conversation with Carlos Delgado, a fellow countryman from Puerto Rico. So maybe just this last minute addition will help out too.
We saw them talking for quite a long time. He and Jose Oquendo and Delgado, and they were really talking hitting. It's kind of fun to watch the kind of mannerisms of those guys as they were spending some time together. Pitch up and in, misses. And you could tell they were talking about weight transfer, and this is really a deep hitting conversation that they had, and this lasted quite a bit of time here during batting practice for the Cardinals.
But in some ways, and you saw Molina kind of trying to follow what Delgado was telling him, but in some ways I don't want him to change things. You know, he's been such a good hitter once he got into that one set stance and just believed in his ability.
The 3-2. Line foul. People here in Toronto love Delgado, and his numbers were huge, Al. In 12 years here in Toronto, 17 years overall, he had 473 career home runs. He's part of the level of excellence here at the Rogers Center. And Molina works a walk. Cardinals have their first base runner. Four of the home runs that Delgado hit, he hit in one game. That came in September of 2003.
See how quick his wrists are, and explosive bat, throwing it down and into him, and I think he'd better change direction. He probably would be an excellent batting coach, but you know, today's game, the coaches have a thankless job. I mean, it is hours upon hours upon hours, and when you see superstars made a lot of money in the game, I'm not sure they're willing or want to do that commitment. George Brett's a great example. You know, when he goes, wait a minute, I could be on the golf course now.
Right.
I don't need to be here.
You know, impressed me here in St. Louis was Mark McGwire, because I thought the same thing would happen to him, but he really took to it and loved being at the ballpark at 5 o'clock in the morning and putting the ball on a tee for a AAA guy and talking about hitting. I mean, I was impressed with his workout.
Yes, and knowing Mark, you know, he just, even when he was playing, you know, he'd entertain thoughts of being a coach, and in some ways he really wanted to be in the minor leagues because he wanted to work with the real young hitters. But Ricky, there'll be a day when young hitters are going to come up to Mark McGwire and say, well, what did you do? What are you telling me?
What do you mean there will be a day?
Yeah, well, I'd still like to think he's still a little fresh in most of their memories, but
the 2-1 to Craig, hit hard to center field, but this is going to carry to the center fielder. The Cardinals hit a couple of balls hard in this inning. They strand a runner. Jaime Garcia to work when we come back. Final game of a 3-game series from Toronto. And here's a look at the Blue Jays batting order. Jose Reyes, it's his bobblehead day. He leads off and plays shortstop. Another switch hitter, Cabrera, at the top. Jose Bautista, the guy you have to worry about. Very good against left-handed batters especially. Encarnacion, Laurie, Tolleson, Navarro, Kratz, and Pilar round out the Blue Jays lineup against our Kia starter, Jaime Garcia.
Jaime's making his 5th start. ERA's up there. Look at the no walks in 24+ innings. Nearly a strikeout per inning. Home runs allowed, a little bit surprising. 5 in his 4 starts. So he's got to keep the ball in the ballpark, and it'd be most helpful if he can continue not to walk anyone.
First chore is Jose Reyes, and there's a sinker on the corner. That's his bread and butter pitch. Reyes, a better hitter from the left side, hitting just .218 right-handed. 3 for 10 in his career against Garcia, and his ball's bounced too short. Peralta throws out the speedy Reyes, so a good start for Jaime Garcia. Garcia with the sinker relies on his defense quite a bit. Here's the Dobbs Cardinals defense. Jay, Borges, and Taveras in the outfield from left to right. Peralta and Ellis up the middle. Alan Craig and Matt Carpenter at the corners. Tony Cruz again behind the plate for Garcia. Melky Cabrera hitting .308. Second in all of baseball with his 81 hits. He too a slightly better hitter from the left side than the right, and one of the 5 Blue Jays with 10 or more home runs. Shows bunt and takes ball 2.
And just think, if Kobe Rasmus was healthy and not on the disabled list, he probably by now would have his 10th home run, as he's sitting with 9.
3-0.
I got a battle back right here, especially with Bautista coming up and his success against lefties and Garcia.
And the first walk of the season for Jaime Garcia. Let's take a look at the delivery, Al, of Cardinal left-hander Jaime Garcia.
All right, look at how he really wraps that arm all the way back behind his head. Be hard to catch up to it, and it's going to leave a lot of pitches high with that, you know, with his top half not being in sync with his bottom half. And when he gets the ball down, he has great movement. I want to see him getting the ball up.
With that delivery for Garcia as he pumps in a strike, I guess the plus side of that is you get a little deception and some movement from that delivery.
Well, yeah, if you can catch up to it, but you're going to leave a lot of balls up, and you're going to be arms going to be dragging.
Cabrera, 4 stolen bases. Good changeup from Garcia. He'll throw his changeup about 15% of the time, and as far as opponents' batting average against, just 154 hitting against the Garcia changeup.
And I mean, it's just really good arm action on that changeup. A lot of times, didn't really see it there. A lot of times it moves like a screwball away from the down and away from a right-handed hitter, and you get fooled with the deception of the same release point as his fastball.
Will Toronto run on Tony Cruz? Not yet. Late foul. The Blue Jays, Al, by the way, yesterday were shut out for the first time at home since September 1st, 2013.
Only the second time this season.
We have some offense. Garcia has a decent move. Batista does so many things well. Hits with runners in scoring position, has the power. He's also first in the American League with 49 walks. Jammed a bit. Pops this one into right field. Out number 2.
Encarnacion really digging, trying to get a toe hole there at home plate. Early win, and a hitter dig in like that. He said, keep on digging, because that's where I'm going to bury you.
That's a kind remark.
Yeah, nothing personal.
It's all professional, right? Talked about how good Batista is, but Encarnacion has outstanding numbers as well, including that month of May. 5 multi-home run games in the month of May for Encarnacion.
Good block by Tony Cruz. Pitchers have a lot of confidence throwing to Tony Cruz, and that's saying a lot when you're throwing to the best catcher in all of baseball, in Molina. Cruz calls a good game and usually helps out offensively.
Be fair to say with a lineup like this, there's going to be times as we look at Yadier Molina, who's been called into duty here today as a pinch hitter. Holiday a late scratch with back issues, but Garcia walking a batter or two today with this lineup in this ballpark, I'm not sure that's such a bad thing, Al. That one gets away, and I wonder if
crossed up.
Tony was crossed up there. That looked like a curveball from Garcia.
Yeah, he's going out to talk to him. Tony's anticipating another pitch and doesn't have the weight shift. Ball gets by him, and then he's still out talking with Garcia. Yeah, I think, Ricky, I know what you're saying about the walks, but you really got to really battle and make sure you get the next guy or next 2 guys out after it.
Right. Not like there's 3 or 4 easy guys to face.
Right.
In this lineup. The 1-2. Blocked again by Cruz. Garcia had a very interesting start, Al, his last time out, where he was, I would say, perfect. He was great through 4 innings. And then the 5th inning, Something happened. The feel for his pitches was gone, and the results weren't very good in that 5th inning, and it ended up being a no decision for Garcia, but he'd had the lead.
And I mean, you're absolutely right about, and really you can almost say that about everybody. All the starters really just had a weird. In the case of Garcia, it was 4 innings. Remember Shelby Miller, it was 6 innings of shutout baseball. And Adam Wainwright, it was 8 innings, of shutout baseball, and then things come crashing down. But got to learn how to correct yourself. And what a shame that Adam Wainwright didn't get that shutout or a combined shutout, as he went 8 shutout innings. Remember, he strikeout, wild pitch, allowed the runner on, and then a base hit by Billy Butler, only 4th. He was taken out of the ball game, and Rosenthal came in to try and get the last 3 outs and end up allowing the Royals to tie it up. But thank goodness they won that in extra innings. That would have been a tough loss.
Good work from Sam Freeman, Pat Neshek in that game. That's one of the pluses that you look at in this road trip.
They definitely have earning their higher leverage situations. Kind of a weird atmosphere right now, isn't it? Just dead silent.
Well, maybe the folks thought they had come to a library today. You know they can make noise. I think they're just fiddling with their Jose Reyes bobbleheads. That's what they're doing.
Mesmerized by it. You see the one big inning. Starts with June the 6th. They're leading 2-0, and they have the 3 runs in the 6th. Next day, leading 2-0, 2 runs in the 9th. That was the Wainwright start. And you had 4 runs lead, 5 runs take over in the 5th. That was Shelby Miller, I think. Well, anyway, it was everybody.
It's a strike, and it gets away from Tony Cruz. I wonder if Garcia's fastball is moving and running a bit. That ball was tough for Tony Cruz to catch, and it was a strike. And that was actually the problem, Al, that he had in the 5th inning of that game. His fastball wasn't sinking anymore. It was running across the plate because his hand was getting underneath it. 2 walks already for Jaime. Want to get that back, get that feel back, get the ball moving away from Brett Lawrie, who has a career high 11 home runs, including a home run in game 1 of this series. Good breaking ball from Garcia. Strikes out Lawrie. That's his first strikeout. Strands a couple of walks here in the 1st inning. And we'll have Johnny Peralta when we come back. Okay. I don't like Jim anyway, so you can just turn him off. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Mike Matheny and his Cardinals hoping to win a series here this afternoon. No score, top of the second inning. Peralta, Jay, and Mark Ellis will hit here in the second. And there's a line drive to left, and this one's going to carry to Cabrera. 3 lineouts for the Cardinals already. Rick Horton, Al Raboski, and Dr. Jim Hayes is with us, and he's going to give us a medical update. Doctor?
Yeah, I don't have much on Matt Holliday and his back issues, except it was a late scratch. I saw him right before the game hitting off a tee, so something must have come up. I know a little bit more about Colton Wong. Wong took swings in the cage today, said that left shoulder of his was pain-free, and Mike Matheny told me that Colton could well pinch hit in today's ball game. Also news on Matt Adams from back in St. Louis. Adams has that left calf strain. He's set to go out on a rehab assignment. Mike Matheny was mentioning it before the game. John Mozeliak confirming it on KMOX this morning. Adams will start in Memphis tomorrow, and the thinking is he'll play a little bit there, and he'll be eligible to come off the DL and join the big club when they return home against Washington.
Line drive base hit to right field for John Jay, and his average getting closer to 300. Jim, a couple other guys I want to ask about. I know Cardinal fans continue to wonder about the health of both Joe Kelly and Kevin Segrist. What do you know about those guys?
Well, Kevin Segrist dealing with a forearm issue. Mike Matheny was saying that he's getting close as well to going out on a rehab assignment. Not quite there. The forearm is showing great improvements. Joe Kelly is throwing off the mound for the first time. Started doing that when the team left for this road trip. Not throwing at full velocity, but apparently John Mozeliak on KMOX today said he expected that if all goes well with Joe Kelly, he could go out on a rehab assignment in possibly a week. Again, Rick, if all goes well. So that's your medical update.
Thank you, Doctor. Appreciate the help, Jim Hayes, and a lot of good news in that. Joe Kelly throwing, and Colton Wong perhaps available today, and now Matt Adams back in this lineup would be a nice, pleasant surprise.
I think anybody that should get off that disabled list come up here. You know, he was 5th in the National League in hitting, Matt Adams, when he went down to the injury.
Mark Ellis making his 20th start of the year for the Cardinals. Average just at 172. It seems like he's hit better than that. I know he's had some really prolonged streaks where he has not had a hit, but it certainly gives you a professional at bat every time.
Yeah, a little modest 2-game hitting streak for someone playing so sparingly. That's tough to keep those streaks going, but Ellis almost from the start, you know, the knee trouble in spring training, starting the season on the DL.
There goes John Jay, and a base hit to right, hit and run. Done perfectly. There's a professional at bat for you, and Cardinals at the corner. Mark Ellis hitting the ball the other way, exactly, Al, the way you draw it up as they start to close the roof here at the Rogers Center. One more look at that hit.
Well, it helps you have a pitch away, and they see the good concentration. Point of contact, just slices it through the infield into the outfield, and you got to be running hard with Batista. Loves to show off his arm.
The roof was closed when we got to the ballpark here this morning. When the sun came out, the roof opened up again, but they may be expecting some rain in the area, so they're closing it now. And that ground ball just past Oquendo. Told it takes about 20 minutes to close the whole roof. It's actually in 3 different parts, and I think the idea is if you got a roof, use it if you think there's some rain in the area, and I think they're playing it safe here.
There's supposed to be some bad weather later in the afternoon.
Borges offers at it with a bunt, pulls it back. Wonder if that was a safety squeeze. Certainly wasn't a suicide squeeze.
I just hope it's more of a situation where trying to get the defense thinking he's going to bunt and then go swing away and drive in the first run.
Borges 5 for his last 13. 4-game hitting streak. He's probably at the best place he's been as a Cardinal right now. Would you agree with that?
I think so. You know, just a little extended playing time and very difficult. I don't care if you're a rookie or a veteran. When you're looking over your shoulder and feel like you have to get a bunch of hits and one at bat or you're not playing the next day, it's tough to play that way.
Drew Hutchison, 23-year-old right-hander.
From Lakeland, Florida, home of spring training home of the Detroit Tigers.
Cardinals have never seen him. He's won 3 straight games. And last 4 starts has been outstanding. He's actually pitched better on the road than he is done at home.
See the high ERA, you know, at home. He's 1-2 with a 7.71 ERA pitching in his home ballpark.
Three-one count. Fly ball center field. That's Pilar, the center fielder. That's Jay tagging and scoring. 1-0 St. Louis. As Peter Borges has given the Cardinals the lead with his sacrifice fly.
10th RBI, and that's a lot better than going up there bunting that runner in. Up there and swing the bat. Pilar gets his momentum coming forward, but his throw goes right to the cutoff man at second base. So not a very good arm, and usually they say if you hit a ball about 300 feet, that runner from third is going to score.
We're just happy that wasn't 300 feet to right field.
Right.
Might have been a little different story. 6 outfield assists for Bautista, 5 for Cabrera, the left fielder. So Tony Cruz gets his first plate appearance here this afternoon. 3rd start in a row for Tony. And he's hit .290 in his starts. We mentioned just how well he caught Shelby Miller here yesterday. I would not say that Mark Ellis is a speed demon, but he's 3 for 3 in stolen bases, and he's not afraid to run.
Pick his spots. I mentioned Tony Cruz hitting .290 with his 9 starts, but he also has 5 RBIs, and all 6 of his RBIs have come with 2 outs. Walker, the pitching coach, out to talk to the young right-hander who has told him, I'm going to be your 5th starter. Walker may say, if you want to keep that 5th starter spot, get ahead of hitters.
A lot of his walks have been at home too. You mentioned the splits earlier. Command an issue for Hutchison here in this inning. He's already walked 1. Looking for his first strikeout. Fastball is around 93, 94. We'll throw a 4-seamer and a sinker. Throws a hard slider that we've seen, really his best pitch, and throws a changeup about 14% of the time. Popped up, right field line. In comes Bautista, and He and Tollison can't run it down. So new life for Tony Cruz.
Ellis hustling. He was going to be over at third base. And he was thinking, hoping that ball would fall in fair territory. Yesterday's ball game, Tony Cruz got a big base hit. Drove in 2 runners in the 4-run 8th inning for the Cardinals.
There goes Ellis. Ball low. Throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base number 4 for Mark Ellis. You said he picks his spots. Well, he picked a good one there.
And he really steals it off the pitcher. Watch you have that high leg kick, but a lot of time consumed right there. Reyes a little late in covering. Might have thought that Ellis's jump was a little too good. Wouldn't be a throw, but he was there ultimately to stop the ball.
Runner in scoring position now for Tony Cruz. Ball hit hard to left field. Back goes Cabrera. He's not going to get it. One hops the left field wall. Ellis scores. Stand-up double for Tony Cruz, and it's 2-0 Cardinals.
Once again, Tony Cruz delivering with 2 outs. So now all 7 of his RBIs have come with 2 outs. The ball elevated, spinning, but just hanging up. And the left fielder Cabrera was playing in, so the ball easily gets over his head and right almost at the base of the wall.
Top of the order and Matt Carpenter. Change up. Fouled at the plate. Carpenter bounced out in the 1st inning. 3rd in the National League with his 74 hits. The 1-1. Hit hard to center field. This ball is deep. Back goes Pilar to the wall, and this ball is gone. Matt Carpenter has homered here in the 2nd, and it's now 4-0 Redbirds.
Second home run for Matt Carpenter. 2 more RBIs, up to 23. This is the Cardinal team we remember from a year ago where so much damage was done with 2 outs. We were talking about big innings against pitchers. Well, it's sure nice to see it when it's big innings against the opposition's pitcher.
And a big swing from Taveras. Been a while since we've seen back-to-back home runs, or am I getting greedy?
Greedy would be more than 2.
Okay.
Let's go back to back to back.
Taveras lined out in the 1st. You just tell he has a powerful swing, Taveras. One more look at the swing from Carpenter.
Got a high changeup? Yeah. Got on top of it. Wasn't fooled at all. And you leave that changeup that high in the middle of the plate, it's going to get hit hard.
Garcia given an early lead. 4 runs on 4 hits in the inning for the Cardinals. Ground ball right side. Tollison boots it, and safe is Taveras. Hustling all the way, beats it out.
Close play at first. And John Gibbons, the manager for Toronto, could come out and question this, but I think Jim Reynolds, our first base umpire, makes a good call. Oh, yeah.
And that's why you run balls out.
Absolutely. You never embarrass yourself if you hustle. So, what is it? Most time, if you're going to have 4 at bats, maybe 5. You can't hustle 5 times in a game.
Molina swings and misses at the first delivery. Cardinals have this young right-hander Drew Hutchison on the ropes here in the second.
Activity in their bullpen.
Seems like he's really having trouble commanding his off-speed pitches. We talk about how important that is, and you can't make a good pitch with those. The fastball just doesn't have the same value.
Everything's set up by your fastball, and if you got a good one, then you can use your secondary pitches, become that much more effective. Redmond, we saw him yesterday's ball game.
1-2 on Molina. Taveras the runner at first. 2-2. Cardinals have lost 9 of their last 13, but they are 2-2 on this road trip.
Obviously, the team has not played to the expectations.
There goes Taveras. Little bloop to right towards the line, and it's a fair ball and over Batista's head. And Taveras is being held at third, again respecting that arm. And a base hit for Yadier Molina.
Oscar running on the pitch, and it looked like after he got by second, he wasn't sure. He's all confused and everything, and Owen could go to third base. Doubtful that he would be able to score, but we'd like to see him be able to just put his head down and take off with 2 outs. Maybe with this so many at bats here, we forgot that it's 2 outs.
It was a straight steal, not a hit and run. So I'm wondering if he was thinking about sliding and then just got a little confused there at the end. Either way, doesn't score, and it'll be up to Alan Craig to drive him in.
9th batter to bat this inning. Hit the ball hard the first time up, but a line drive to center field ended the first.
Line drive to right. Boy, the Cardinals have hit some balls hard here this afternoon. 5 hits in the inning, 4 runs. Carpenter, home run number 2. and the Cardinals second. They lead 4-0. Let's go to our Toyota keys to the game, Al.
Well, ground out at bats worked well yesterday, and maybe today is just be ready for the first pitch you see in the zone. And Garcia, be wary of the home run ball. We're hopeful that he wouldn't walk anybody. Walked 2 in the first, but escaped that. He has allowed 5 home runs in the first 4 starts. And the Blue Jays lead the major leagues in home runs, 89.
Cardinals with the home run today have 34. Steve Tollison playing second base today. He made an error to prolong that second inning.
Didn't change the scoring, but
it did not. Tollison 8 for 15 in his starts. Make it 9 for 16.
And he's now hit in 7 straight starts. That's hard to do, and he's got a 500 batting average during that time. 9 for 18.
It's now time for you to tweet your photo using STL Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you, as always, by AT&T. So Garcia will work from the stretch here in the second inning. And he'll face Deoner Navarro, DHing here in game 3. There's a good sinker from Garcia, but it misses outside. That's much better action now. That downward movement, moving away from a right-handed hitter. And again, this last start started to pull it across the plate, and straight sinker is not a good sinker.
And of course, it's helpful if you start that pitch out lower, so where you stay on top of it. Get it up above the belt, you're in trouble.
Ground ball just inside the bag. Nice play by Carpenter, and a tag play, and he got it. Nice play at both ends. Carpenter got rid of it quickly, and then Alan Craig had to go up the line to tag Navarro. Outstanding.
Really worked to Alan Craig's advantage with the throw being up the line, but it's a nice stop. Throws the ball in foul territory, gets it there, and because it's up the line, Alan Craig could catch it and apply the tag all in one motion.
Nice play by the Cardinals defense. Eric Kratz, one of the 3 Blue Jays catchers, takes ball 1. Kratz has 12 hits on the season, 3 of them home runs.
Totally is pretty much the knuckleball catcher.
R.A. Dickey.
He gets Dickey starts, and they were together in New York when Dickey won the Cy Young.
Ground ball left side. They're going to get the runner at third. Heads up play by Peralta. Bad base running by Tollison.
Yeah. He thought he was quick enough to where the ball was not fielded in front of him, but see Peralta, he's going to throw this to first, but then all of a sudden he sees the out right in front of him, and so it goes the short way, and Matt applies a tag to the head first slot.
Kevin Pillar playing center field here this afternoon. One of the young players that has really provided some spark to the Blue Jays. And Anthony Gose, we've seen him in this series. He also plays center field, and he's been fun to watch. We mentioned Colby Rasmus on the disabled list, and he is not here right now. He has hamstring rehab that he's dealing with. And it just makes me think, Al, of that trade in 2011. We've not talked about that in this series, but just how important that was for the Cardinals to get Zepchinski, Dotel, Jackson, Corey Patterson.
Needed the bullpen help, and it paid off. Pillar's a rookie. Hits left-handed pitching, .333. righties under 100. And Millar has hit in 4 of his last 5 starts, going 7 for 16. 0 for his last 6.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout Garcia. That's his second. Strands another runner. And he leads Toronto by 4. Batting practice from the stands in your new batting practice hat. AT&T is sending 25,000 fans 16 and older home with their very own adult replica batting practice hat with the 2013 National League Championship logo. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Johnny Peralta lined out, and this ball is deep. And this ball is gone. Home run Peralta. 5-0 Cardinals. And they are swinging it today.
2 home runs today against Hutchinson and 10 this season. They finally have completed closing the roof, and Ryan Peralta gets his 10th home run of the year. Mentioned the Blue Jays have 5 guys already with 10 home runs. Now the Cardinals have 1.
Hard hit, slicing foul off the bat of John Jay, who has one of those hits. And he scored a run his first plate appearance. Here's the swing of Peralta.
A lot of extra base hits, and when he can get that ball and turn on it.
You mentioned it, Al. It's early. We're just the 3rd inning, but at this point in time, this just seems like the Cardinals' offense that we expected.
Absolutely. You know, they led the National League in runs scored, all the important categories except for home runs, but they found ways to get the runs in without via the home run. Peralta, you know, he's going to provide a little bit of pop. It's his 10th home run. Cardinal shortstops, what I think had 4 last year.
Jam shot up the middle. Reyes throws out Jay. Mark Ellis singled, scored, also stole a base in the second. Cardinals did everything right in that second inning. Not just Al, the 2-out hitting that you mentioned, but they also had the successful hit and run, sacrifice fly. So
stolen base
again. Just really a outstanding 2013-like inning.
It's redundant, but when you're not hitting, everything looks like you're flat.
Fly ball deep right, and backing up is Batista, who almost lost that. It's up at the top of the dome, but made the play. Cardinals have had a number of outs they've made here today. It could be worse for Hutchison.
Oh, absolutely. They've some loud outs as they've lined some balls.
Peter Borges.
You're just going up there hacking, aren't they? You just, and until Hutchinson throws a couple balls inside a little bit, they're going to feel like they can just swing away. And when I say pitch inside, I don't mean pitch inside to hurt somebody, but pitch inside for effect to get them off that side of the plate, and then you can work on the outer part. You agree with me, Ricky?
Yeah.
A hitter can't protect both sides of the plate, so he goes up there and, you know, pretty much is able to control one side. You have to know which side that is, and then you pitch inside off the plate to get him off it.
And then that sets up the changeup. Borges strikes out. Cardinals strike again. Peralta with a home run. 5-0 St. Louis. Sports Midwest is brought to you by AT&T. Mobilizing your world. By Schnucks, your neighborhood hometown grocer for 75 years. Find a helpful servicing steel dealer near you. Visit steeldealers.com. Beautiful Toronto, Canada. World champions in the early 90s.
92 and 93, back to back.
And they are wanting a winner again, and this ball club, Al, that we've seen so far, we really like. Jose Reyes leading off.
Yeah, good solid ball club. Toronto is 38 and 25, 7 and 3 in their last 10, 19 and 14 at home.
Good teams in the 80s too. Division champions a couple of years. The World Championships, as you mentioned, came in the early 90s. Think about some of those great Blue Jays players, and we have a wall here out in their media room that lists some of the great accomplishments, and they had some big names play here.
They did, and
one two looped into center field, and Peralta makes the play. And everybody with a bobblehead not happy.
Jesse Barfield was one of the big names that played here in '97. Barfield, Jerry Kuzman, and Darrell Evans and myself went on a little USO tour. Went all through Germany and then took a C-130 into Bosnia. Everybody stationed in Bosnia are processed in and out of an old Russian MiG base in Hungary. Then we got turned over to the Navy and went to Italy, Sardinia, Sicily, rode to Spain. Great trip that none of us will ever forget.
Barfield, classy player, and a couple other names you saw there. Roberto Alomar, the only retired number on the Ring of Excellence here, and level of excellence. Dave Stieb was an outstanding competitor. Pitcher that people don't talk much about, but certainly was a winner here.
He was good.
Nasty slider, as I recall. Melky Cabrera walked his first plate appearance. There's a good sinker from Garcia. Cabrera doesn't like that call.
Cabrera had a little scare as he had a tumor removed from his back a year ago, and so he's much leaner this year.
Ground ball left side. Cabrera falls down at the plate. So Carpenter has plenty of time to throw him out. He slipped out of the box. And that's a Garcia ground ball, exactly what he likes. Fox Sports Supports is proud to collaborate with Stand Up to Cancer, a groundbreaking initiative created to accelerate innovative cancer research that gets new therapies to patients quickly in order to save lives now. For more information, visit foxsportssupports.com. Love to see this guy hitting with nobody on base. Taking all the way, strike one on Jose Bautista.
And a 5-run lead.
Agree 100%.
Bautista complaining about something.
Wonder if he wasn't ready, and that's why he didn't offer at that first pitch and wasn't set. Those poor hitters are not given enough time to get ready.
Right. Look at that curveball.
"15 home runs for Bautista. In my mind, he's their best player. Ground ball left side. And Bautista is retired. Good inning for Garcia. Live streaming sports service is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers and watch every out-of-market game live online or in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Visit Cardinals.com for more details. Cardinals offense has showed up here this afternoon. 5 runs through 3 innings, so that forces the birthday boy John Gibbons to go to his bullpen. Our Chevy call to the bullpen is Todd Redmond. Excuse me.
Saw him pitching yesterday's ball game. 17th appearance for Redmond. 0-1, 3.30 ERA, and 1 save.
Tony Cruz. Big part of the win yesterday, and he's been a big part of the offense today.
Mentioned that Redmond was born and resides in St. Petersburg, Florida. That's your next stop. The old Vinoy Hotel, where you're going to be staying. I remember first going to spring training, or actually it was instructional league. First time I went to St. Petersburg, and that hotel was shut down for about 30-40 years. So it was an old, elegant hotel, and remember when they reopened it, put a good $100 million into it, and probably have done that again. But no air conditioning at one time. Sure,
not a good plan for Florida, by the way.
Yeah.
Big fastball, and Cruz comes up empty. Well, we'll get LeBron James to fix the air conditioning there.
Oh, it's fixed now. But they actually had some very extensive Italian tile work all throughout the hotel. And when they renovated it, they couldn't find any real artisans. And they had to bring in people from Italy to redo some of the work. It was so extensive.
Top of the lineup and Matt Carpenter. Flare down the left field line and slicing foul. And how about that play by Nucky Cabrera? Big time play for out number 2.
Great hustling play. We talked a little bit about it, where this ballpark has still got a lot of foul territory, so you can make this kind of play. It slides, turns over a couple times, and it's not a catch. Not yet. Not yet. Now. Can't get tired of seeing a guy hustle like that, can you?
How did that not pop out of his glove when he hit the ground? That's pretty impressive. And strike 1 to Taveras. By the way, last inning, for our Spanish-speaking viewers, they may have heard a word that we again want to give you the sights and sounds of baseball on a base hit to right for Taveras. And you may have heard something that your children may not have wanted to hear. So, lo siento por las palabras malas, la última entrada.
Malo palabras.
Sí. Lo siento.
There you are, Ricky. Talking dirty again.
I'll have to get you a dictionary, Spanish dictionary, Al. Ground ball right side. And Molina is retired for the first time. Cardinals 5-0 Redbirds, bottom of the 4th inning. Saturday, June 14th. Pick up a Cardinals blanket for you or your furry friend. Compliments of Nestle Purina. They're available to 25,000 pet lovers ages 16 and older. Get yours by purchasing tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Edwin Encarnacion will lead it off against Garcia. And strike one from Jaime. 16 home runs in the month of May. Tied Mickey Mantle for the American League record for home runs in that month. Broken bat. Ground ball to Peralta. And when Garcia's good, he will break some bats.
Break some bats and get a lot of work for the left side of the infield. Changeup right off the end of the bat and shatters it. Ball up.
We talk about late movement. Would Garcia be one of the classic guys that would be an example of somebody that does that effectively?
I would think so. Talk to a hitter and they'll say, you know, that late movement, it's almost like the ball explodes when it's right on top of it.
Brent Lawrie. Lawrie playing third base today, struck out to end the first inning.
I didn't get a chance to answer when you asked about Batista, you know, being the best player. I would agree, but Lawrie has really impressed me also.
Brett Lawrie from Canada. Another reason they love him here.
To a great start. You know, he's already got 11 home runs. That was his career high. He's done it twice prior to this year.
Hard hit to left. But John Jay makes the play. And 2 quick outs for the Blue Jays here in the 4th.
As he is on, he can have some quick outs.
And one of the things that I wondered, Al, and I wanted to at least talk about, because I'm sure there are Cardinal fans that are at least thinking about it. What do you do when you've got a guy like Garcia who was just rolling in his last start, and then all of a sudden the roof caved in immediately? If you're Blaze Ilsley and Mike Matheny here today, is your leash on him a little shorter? Are you watching him a little more closely? But if you do that, you don't want to kind of expect it to happen either, because you don't
in his mind,
put it in his head. Exactly. It's really a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the one thing you do, you make a subtle little reminder. Okay, you know, you pitched 4 great innings last time, so when you're taking the mound in the 5th inning, hey, why don't you go out there and really concentrate, throw your warm-up pitches with a little more, you know, effect, but really concentrate on getting that first guy out and then carry it on through.
Good curveball by Garcia. Pitches by inning, 22 in the first inning. A couple of walks in that inning, but he's settled down since then. And another pitch high in the zone. 8 straight retired by Garcia. Collison singled, made a base running mistake in the 2nd. And he takes that pitch high. So 3 straight pitches out of the strike zone for Garcia. And we'll watch him closely.
And no walks coming into this action in his first 4 starts, and now here in 3 2/3 innings he's walked 3. They haven't hurt him yet. He's got 2 outs, so good opportunity to escape this inning.
Those are the walks that frustrate you from a pitcher's point of view. You got 2 outs, nobody on, you're ahead in the count. You're facing a bench player. I mean, yes, he's a major leaguer, not to discredit him, but a guy that you wouldn't be overly scared of, I would think.
And that's usually the kind of guys that burn you because you don't give them their due. Anybody stand with that bat at the major league level is a threat.
Ground ball left side. Backing up is Carpenter. Long throw over to Craig. Retires Navarro. Another ground ball induced by Jaime Garcia. 4 zeros through 4. Thanks, Pat. Now we understand what's going on with the Cardinals offense. Gary Bennett is in studio. I like it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Alan Craig lines out to right field. And it is nice to have Gary Bennett on our team. We see him at the fantasy camp in the winter, and he had some big moments filling in occasionally as the Cardinals backup catcher, as we're seeing Tony Cruz do here in this series, and Gary really took advantage of those opportunities.
Well, from the Chicago area, and I remember he had a great weekend series against the Cubs. I think he grand slam, and I think he hit another home run to game winners. But Gary can tell you, Tony Cruz doesn't have the easiest job, and Tony does a good job when he gets that chance.
So when you're the backup catcher and you're Tony Cruz, as we look at Johnny Peralta, who homered in the 3rd inning, you become an important player in that game. You're calling all the pitches, and yesterday, if you'd say Shelby Miller, the most important Cardinal in that game, but the second most important Cardinal in that game was Tony Cruz.
And Tony, as a backup catcher, every time that Yachty gets together with the pitcher in this, he's right there too. He's doing all the homework, all the work.
Hard hit, left center field gap. This ball is deep and it's off the wall. Another extra base hit for Peralta. Cabrera has a little trouble with it, but Peralta stays at second, and that ball was smoked.
Peralta has 52 hits. 26 of them are extra base hits.
Now, from what we've seen, the Cardinals have hit a week's worth of balls hard today.
They really have. I mean, their outs most of the time have been line drives. There's another base hit here. They've got 8 on the day, and we're just playing with 1 out in the 5th.
John Jay takes strike one. He singled and scored, bounced out.
Could be a very important assignment here for Redmond. Last season he appeared in 17 games. 14 of them were starts. All of his innings this year have come out of the bullpen, but if Hutchinson doesn't put together some better outings, you might see Redmond get back in the rotation.
They also put Dustin McGowan in their bullpen, and they think he's actually better in the bullpen than as a starter. Fly ball to left. Jay is retired, out number 2. After the game, stay tuned for Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Tweet your favorite Cardinals moment from the week using the hashtag Redbird Rewind. That's Redbird Rewind, and we'll show you some of the best. The Redbird Rewind after today's game on Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Pat Paris and Gary Bennett. We're giving Gary Bennett all that credit, but we have got to say that Pat Paris is a saint for putting up with all of us, is he not? How does he do it? And when I say us, I mean you too.
I know.
Al.
I said I better choose my words carefully here because I'll be with him on Tuesday.
So you don't want to say anything nice about him now? Is that what you're saying?
I just want to give him his due, but I want to also keep him on his edge of his seat.
As only
which
you do.
we all do. Just me?
No, I do it too. He's terrific, though. Quarterbacking the pregame and postgame shows. Hard hit right side. Ellis retired. Cardinals strand a runner. They're 5th. But they are swinging it today. 5-0 Cardinals. Looking at potential all-stars, and today we're going to focus on Rafael Soriano, Al, with the Nationals. He's their closer, and he's having quite a good year.
I looked at him. He's got 12 saves, and we know he's got that electric arm. He has one great ability for a closer, and that's elasticity in his arm where he can go day after day after day.
And the Nationals are surging, starting to play better baseball.
We'll see the Nationals and Mr. Soriano when the Cardinals are back in town on Friday night.
Just a game behind the Atlanta Braves in the National League East going into action today, tied with the Miami Marlins. The Mets have lost 5 in a row, and they are now 5 games back, and the Phillies in last place in the East. Eric Kratz catching here today. A couple of years ago, a strange incident with Kratz just before spring training. He was working construction and just trying to make ends meet as a minor league player, trying to stay active and busy and pay the bills. And when he was working construction, he was using a nail gun and he drove a nail right through his catching hand. He never informed the team of that. Kind of gritted his teeth, went to spring training, and fortunately the pain went away. And here he is playing in the big leagues with Toronto. Hard to hide that, I would think. Out of play.
Rick, just looking at the upcoming home schedule, we have Washington for the weekend, next weekend. Then the Mets are in for 3. And then our first look at Philadelphia for 4. I know the Washington series got some great giveaways.
They're getting great crowds at home.
Yeah, 40,000 every single day.
Nice crowd here this afternoon. Jose Reyes bobblehead day. Ground ball left side. Carpenter. No problem. You're talking about the year and the stats of Rafael Soriano. Is he all-star bound? The all-star game again will be on Fox. 24 appearances. And his whip is under 1 too, so he is really dominating in the late innings.
12 saves and 14 opportunities. ERA very, very good. Very tough to hit. Opponent's batting average under 200. Just trying to think, who a position player who may be doing well. You always got Strasburg from the pitching staff, and their bullpen is strong with Storm, Clippard setting up Soriano.
Rendon's been one of their best players.
Yeah, and because of that, Ryan Zimmerman is back playing now, but he's playing left field. And then the debate will be, what happens later. They say he will be back in the infield. Naturally, you would think of first base, but Adam LaRoche is doing so well. An uncharacteristic good start to the season. But he's on his final year of a contract. You would think that will be the natural place to move Ryan Zimmerman eventually is to first base. It's amazing Zimmerman is such a good player for the college he went to.
I was wondering if you were going to say that. Good effort by Alan Craig. A lot of room, we mentioned early in this series, for foul pop-ups, and you have to be alert. You have to give it a shot, and Craig took the right angle.
A little different, goes off the glove and can't hold on to it. A little different looking up now too with the roof completely closed.
Good effort.
I'm sure, very good effort, and I'm sure he'd tell you if it hits my glove I should have been able to catch it. He has not committed an error yet, whether playing the outfield or first.
Defensive swing by Pilar. Pitcher and catcher communication, very important.
Most definitely. So you want the glove down, want to bounce it. Tell him, keep that ball down. If you bounce it, I'll block it.
Another 0-2 delivery, also down.
I wouldn't make it. Garcia just said, I'll get it down. And
you want down
about 40 feet.
Yeah, you want down, I'll show you down. People often ask, Al, I know you've been asked that question, can you hit a ball on a hop? The answer is yes, you can. Couldn't hit that sinker. Pilar, a strikeout victim for the second time. Garcia took a little off that.
See all the movement right there.
Did you ever throw a circle change?
No.
You threw that kind of split finger deal, didn't
yeah,
you?
whatever it was wasn't very good.
Oh, it had to be pretty good, Al. I mean, you were the fireman of the year in 1975. Of course, that was all fastballs.
That was all fastballs, and I threw the Hungo pitch, and Bowie Kuhn outlawed that. So then I tried something else.
Well, the circle change, you have to have. I find it impossible to throw. Guys throw it like it's nothing, as Garcia just threw the pitch down and away with a little movement, and just try it someday. Pick up a baseball and throw the ball with your pinky finger, your ring finger, and your middle finger, with a circle on the side with your forefinger and thumb. Just try to throw that baseball. It doesn't work.
You have to have long fingers, don't you?
You do. It helps. 3-1 on Reyes. Ground ball to third, barehanded by Carpenter, high throw, and safe is Reyes. It'll be an interesting scoring here.
Base hit. Reyes' speed has something to do with it, but he comes in here, he's got the high hop, bare hands it, and then air mails it. Alan Craig just had to go sky high. Did a good job. He was trying to keep his foot on the base, but the most important thing is to catch it.
Probably saved an error by catching the baseball.
Right.
Reyes would be on second, and then it would be a hit and an error.
And it is scored a hit.
Rightfully so.
Yep.
And just the second hit for the Blue Jays here today. Melky Cabrera takes a pitch low, and it gets away from Tony Cruz, back to the screen, and Reyes advances. See if that's a pass ball or a wild pitch, and then if it's a pass ball, it's the second today for Tony Cruz. Two pass balls for Tony Cruz.
That is very uncharacteristic, and I think Tony Cruz tried to stab at it with the backhand and was surprised it got underneath him. The runner on base, and especially a guy like Reyes, you'd think he'd go down and block that ball.
A lot of movement from
Garcia. Well, I was going to say, they say that Garcia is one of the toughest to catch because of all the late movement.
Tough to catch should translate into tough to hit.
And I think that's fair to say, he is tough to hit.
The Blue Jays would say that here this afternoon so far, managing just two. Blue Jays had 3 runs on 11 hits in game 1 of this series. No runs on 3 hits yesterday with Shelby Miller. For the Cardinal pitching, has been very good. Again, Carpenter backing up, and he boots this one, and let's put that in your back pocket.
Well, this one will be scored an error, and on turf you usually get true hops, so he didn't want to get the in-between hops, so he backed up on it, and the ball bounced a little higher. And you can see he's a little frustrated as he commits his 8th error. Second in the series for Carpenter. And we mentioned between the 6th and 7th errors, there was a long time, a lot of games played.
Agreed. And not a good place to make an error in front of Jose Bautista.
That once again is 2 outs, and to get your man, they get right back in it with 1 swing.
Ball 1. Garcia has walked 3 and struck out 3. Maybe his biggest test so far right here.
Shelby had a point in that ball game where he had to retire Batista with 2 men on.
It was in the 6th inning yesterday.
2 outs, 2 men on, and he passed his test with flying colors with the strikeout. Batista 0 for 2 today, now 2 for 7 with a home run against Garcia.
The 1-1 in the dirt, blocked by Cruz. Made a nice play there.
That's more indicative of how Tony Cruz catches. And with the runner at third, he's not afraid to have Jaime throw a ball in the dirt. Believes he'll in his ability to block that ball. Surprising. A little production with 2 outs and runners in scoring position.
Agreed. Yet he still has 44 RBIs on the season. And there's a strike on the inside corner. Very similar to pitch 1 that Garcia didn't get, but he got that one.
Sometimes it works for you and sometimes against you. That one was a bit of a gift.
Big pitch here for Jaime. 2-2. 2 runners aboard. And here it comes. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Batista. And just like Shelby Miller yesterday, a big strikeout of Batista with a couple of runners aboard. And the Cardinals hang on to their 5-0 lead through 5. Fans 16 and older will have the opportunity to bring home a piece of Busch Stadium with a unique canvas print that replicates the retired numbers mural in left field. Get your tickets for the June 13th Cardinals Nationals game at cardinals.com/promotions. Third inning of work for Todd Redmond. He's given up 2 Cardinal hits in his 2 innings of work. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 for St. Louis. Borges drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. First Cardinal run in a 4-run second. And a base hit to left for Borges. He's now 1 for 2. And aboard for Tony Cruz. What's on Tap is always brought to you by Budweiser. And on Tuesday, with coverage beginning at 5:30 on Fox Sports Midwest, the Cardinals will be entertained by the Tampa Bay Rays. Adam Wainwright 8-3, Jake Odorizzi 2-6. Odorizzi from Highland, Illinois, played for Joel Hawkins there, good friend of mine, and Jake, an outstanding player in high school in the greater St. Louis area. And he's in that rotation in Tampa Bay. Line drive right to the second baseman Tollison, who tries to double up Borges. Hard hit, but an out.
Good base running by Borges not to get doubled on that line drive.
Matt Carpenter homered in that 4-run second. Just his second of the season. 2-run shot, 23 RBIs for Matt. And will the Cardinals do some running? You know, you're up 5-0, but there's something even, Al, in that last inning about playing the Toronto Blue Jays. You just don't really feel like the lead is safe.
Now with all their home run hitters, you know, normally you want to make sure you got at least a 5-run lead, so a grand slam.
There goes Borges. The throw to second, not in time. Oh yeah, they call him out. I thought Borges was safe. How about that throw from Kratz on one knee?
And Mike Matheny, he sees it like we did. I thought he was safe easily. Sometimes when you pop up too quickly, you think you're out. As he stopped, that foot get there ahead. That's the only thing, you know, he slides into it. Does he stop his forward motion?
I wonder if he missed the base, if he stopped short of the base with that lead foot.
Yeah, that's what I think he did.
I think the second foot may have gotten the bag, but maybe the first foot didn't. Should have been safe.
Well, that pop-up slide, you know, sometimes you come up short or you come up as the guy and it appears that you're getting tagged sooner than you really do.
One more look.
Got him on the knee.
So 2 outs for the Cardinals. And that's the first time Borges has been thrown out this year. Now 4 for 5. I still like the running though.
Yes.
On the left field line and out of play, and so many more balls here, Al. We're following longer, just expecting an infielder or an outfielder with all the extra room here to at least have a shot at a ball. Plays that you typically, foul balls you typically would think, well, that's way out of play. Here, they're not. Popped up, mile high in the infield. Laurie has it. Cardinals fail to score in the 6th, but they lead the Blue Jays 5-0.
I mean, I felt good, but I wasn't hitting my spots like I wanted to or needed to going in. But at the same time, I mean, it's crazy how it works like that. You know, sometimes you feel like you'll have your best stuff, and then you'll go out and in the game it just changes. And then, like yesterday in the bullpen, you kind of don't feel great, but you go out and you feel good out there on the mound. So, you know, I'll take that every start if it happens that way.
That was Shelby Miller visiting with Jim Hayes in our pregame show and letting everybody know that he did not feel good after his bullpen, but found it certainly now once he reached the mound, and that's what matters.
I've always, you know, wanted to feel so coming out of the bullpen because I didn't want to go out there overconfident. And then I knew that once I got on the mound, the adrenaline would kick in and the competitiveness would kick in, and I'd be that much better. How many times do you hear a guy say, "Oh, I felt great coming out of the bullpen," or he had no hit stuff, and then he lasts about 2 innings? Because you go out there and you're thinking, "Oh, I'm so good today, I don't need to work on concentration, don't need to work on hitting my spots. I can blow it by everybody." Kiss of death.
I hear you. I think what happens to you when you feel so great, you go out there and then you make a pitch that wasn't a good pitch, or maybe two of them, it kind of startles you a little bit, and then you're a little, you kind of feel a little lost, as opposed to always striving to kind of get it. You're kind of trying to get it back, which is a different feeling. 1-2 to Edwin Encarnacion, leading things off for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 6th. Hard hit. They try Carpenter again. This time he's got it. And he throws out the Blue Jays first baseman. Well, we promised you earlier in the game that we'd have an AT&T fan photo of the game, and here it is. You can tweet your photos to STL Fan Photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T.
A nice picture with Jason Mott. Danny Mack just loves those pictures.
Danny will be returning to the Fox Sports Midwest broadcast in Tampa Bay. He has this weekend off, and I think he would be very happy to know the way the Cardinals are swinging the bat here today. I'm sure he's watching. And a ground out to the shortstop Peralta for out number 2. Budweiser Bash Fridays feature prizes and a current or former Cardinals player. On the 13th of June, coming up on Friday, Kyle McClellan will be signing autographs, and that starts at 5:30. First 200 people in the Budweiser Bash line next to Gate 5 will be guaranteed an autograph. For information, tickets, visit cardinals.com/promotions.
Kyle's still trying to get his, had both shoulders operating on, right?
I know he has had a long road to recover. And there's a very good inning. 3 groundouts for Garcia, getting stronger. To pick up great seats to the game, head to StubHub, where you can earn 2% back in fan rewards on every purchase, including Cardinals tickets. Plus, with all-in pricing, there are no surprise fees at checkout. StubHub, your ticket to upgrades and more. We take a look at the oldest MLB stadiums. We talked about that yesterday. Fenway Park, Wrigley Field, the two oldest, obviously, then Dodger Stadium, Angel Stadium. The O in Oakland, Kauffman Stadium, where we just came from, and Rogers Center, formerly the Sky Dome. The oldest ballparks. The next oldest on that list is where we're going next. Tropicana Field in Tampa Bay, and I know, Al, you're shaking your head. It's hard to believe the way stadiums have been built so quickly and things change.
Well, it just, there's nothing like going to Fenway and Wrigley Field, but the new amenities and the new ballparks are fabulous. It's hard to believe the Dodger Stadium, how pristine that is. That, what, the third oldest, third, fourth, and but I also remember when everyone in baseball said, "Don't build St. Pete," and went ahead anyway. And when they finally got Major League Baseball there, they basically had to almost put in $100 million of renovation to make it suitable to play baseball.
Sky Dome here, built in 1989. It is a retractable roof. Again, the roof is on here. It was open earlier, but expecting some rain in case you're just joining us. Swing and a miss. Tavares strikes out. He's now 1 for 4. He singled his last plate appearance, so out number 1 in the Cardinals' 7th.
Redmond's done a nice job. Cardinals have a hit in the first 3 innings, 1 each, but they haven't stepped on home plate yet.
Be good to see Yadier Molina get that swing back, wouldn't it?
Got 1 hit today. Just hope that the lower back spasms or whatever that ailing Matt Holliday, hopefully that just quick thing and he's back by Tuesday.
Fly ball to right. 2 outs. Alan Craig has hit the ball hard, but he's 0 for 3 today.
Got him down for 3 line drives.
5-game hitting streak on the line. I have the same. L8, L9, L9. A lot of ways for fans to score. I know a lot of people still like to do that, and everybody has their own little language they use, and depends on who taught you how to do it. But the way I do my scorebook, Al, maybe you do the same, is it's an L for a line out, it's an F for a fly ball, and then it's a P for a pop out in the infield.
A little different, but basically the same. LD for the line drive.
Okay.
I put a small F for a foul ball and just put the number for a fly ball. and I want to put down an HR.
And we all know what that means. I think Mr. Craig would like you to put down an HR. The Cardinals already have 2. Carpenter in the 2nd. Peralta in the 3rd. Wow, that ball was smoked. Another line drive, this time a base hit for Alan Craig with 2 outs. One for 4 today, but he has had a very, very good day at the plate.
Move inside, ball's out away from him, and good thing the pitcher's follow through carries him off the mound. His 6-game hitting streak now. A lot of hitting streaks for the Cardinals.
That was the Cardinals' 10th hit against 2 Blue Jays hits. And nearly 101 miles an hour off the bat.
What is it? Averages in the mid to high 80s.
On a normal hit ball.
I think we've seen Holiday over the last couple of years hit a couple balls that were around 115 miles an hour.
Mike Matheny talking before one of the games here this week on the road trip about Oscar Taveras. That's what he's noted for. That ball hit hard to center field, but handled by Pilar. Cardinals strand their 6th. Time to stretch in Canada. Biggest moment in Blue Jays history. Joe Carter, 1993, Game 6. Home run off of Mitch Williams with a couple of Hall of Famers on base at that moment. Ricky Henderson and Paul Molitor. But they love Joe Carter here for that moment. Yonder Navarro, Eric Kratz, and Kevin Pillar to face Garcia in the 7th, and you get the sense this is an important inning for Jaime.
Very important. Don't want to get away from him like it did in Kansas City. Of course, that was after 4 innings. Here it's after 6 solid innings, just 2 hits allowed. You have activity in the bullpen. Freeman and it looks like Seth Maness.
Carpenter has been tested a lot. 4 straight ground outs, and let's look at that home run by Joe Carter. Right down the line. Game winner. And just as you imagined it would be when you were 10 years old wanting to be a big league player. What a feeling that must have been for Joe Carter and the Blue Jays. Up the middle, base hit for Kratz. I guess David Freese might know what that feels like.
Yeah. Carter and Freese just they don't know what it feels like to give up a home run like that, do they?
No, that's the worst part. Action in the Cardinals bullpen.
So
Carlos
Martinez.
Yeah, and Sam Freeman. Kevin Pillar had a 54-game hit streak in college in 2010. That opened some eyes. It's a lot of games. This is going to be trouble, and he got him. Wow, has Carpenter been busy. That was a very nice play to get Pillar.
Coming in on that bunch, saw the little stutter steps to get the hop he wanted, and that ball didn't stay in his glove very long as he received it and was throwing it in a split second. He had to, or it would have been runners at first and second, but runner in score position with 2 outs for Reyes.
I'm counting 13 ground ball outs in my scorebook for Garcia. Quick count, maybe off 1 or 2, but really using his infield well.
13-2, Rick.
So either we're both right or we're both wrong. Jose Reyes 1 for 3 on his bobblehead day.
I'm just looking real quick too. Is every one of them have been to the left side of the infield, which you would suspect with a left-handed pitcher.
Absolutely.
Break a ball, they're out in front, so they hit it to the left side.
Right on the outside corner. Blue Jays not done very well with RISP in this series.
1 for 18, but look at the previous 5 games. 21 for 46.
Three and 1. And we've talked a lot about the Blue Jays power, Al. Yesterday being shut out. We mentioned first time since September a year ago that they were shut out at home. But it was just the 6th time in 33 home games where they did not hit a home run in the game. Just so much a part of their offense. The 3-1. 3-2. Good pitch there. Reyes says, hey, I got a bobblehead. You shouldn't call that a strike.
And Reyes has a legitimate argument. Strike zone's been a little interesting today.
Three and 2. And here it comes. Up the middle. Peralta has it on the move. Low throw. Handled by Alan Craig. Nice play by the Cardinals first baseman. Garcia getting a lot of ground balls here this afternoon. Likely power source in Cincinnati, and Pat Paris will have that for you with this Bommarito Sports Update. Pat. Thanks, Pat. Top of the 8th inning here. First pitch hit deep to center. Pilar all the way back to the warning track. John Jay really gave that one a ride. Out number 1. Let's give you our Mazda game summary here so far. Very good pitching again today by the Cardinals. This time Jaime Garcia just 3 hits through 7 innings. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Peralta 2 for 4 with a home run. Drew Hutchison, the starter for the Blue Jays, was not sharp. Gave up 6 hits in 3 innings. Jose Reyes, bobblehead day. He has a hit for the Jays. Fastball up and in, and their reliever Todd Redmond has kept them in the game.
Redmond working his 5th inning. Allowed 4 hits, no walks, so he has done his part. But Jaime Garcia has just been outstanding, and you wonder how much longer he'll go. With the off day on Monday, I wonder if they may want to get a little work for the bullpen. Wouldn't be bad to get Pat Neshek, who is warming up, give him an inning, and then Rosenthal another inning, even though it's not a save situation.
It's one of those days, and we've shown the Cardinal bullpen a couple of different times, where as you're getting close to the end of the game, if a pitcher, you don't even think you're going to use him, you might get him up anyway just to get him to throw a little bit. And that's part of a reliever's job, as you of course know, Al, is even if you don't get in a game, get some work. Pretend you're pitching to hitters. Ellis bounces out. Cardinals have shown a little more power than the Blue Jays here today. Our Nissan drives of the game. The first one, Matt Carpenter, his 2nd home run of the season, and then Johnny Peralta, the first Cardinal to 10 home runs. That came in the 3rd. Cardinals have out-hit the Blue Jays 10-3. Into right field. On the run is Batista. Sliding attempt, can't come up with it.
Long run right here. You worry about getting tangled up. Olson, the second baseman, able to avoid him, but I'm impressed with how hard that Bautista plays defensively. You know, I mean, several times he could have laid off on some of these balls, but he's hustling all the way.
Even in the loss yesterday and what we've seen so far today, this team has impressed me, the Blue Jays that is, by being a team that brings energy to the ballpark and to their at-bats. A lot of dangerous at-bats, and even when they're not hitting, there's just something about this team that I like. When there's no kind of moping around, they're guys that are expecting to, I hate to keep going back to the word swagger, but there's something about a winning team. John Gibbons would like to have a nice birthday present today with a Blue Jays comeback.
Well, so much of it starts with starting pitch, and Cardinal starters have been better. We were told that they were getting a lot better pitching, and that's one of the reasons why they are leading their division.
Jay Happ in their rotation. We saw Stroman.
We saw, well, Burley wasn't at his best, but he pitched well enough to win.
Borges strikes out. Another good inning. 5 scoreless out of the pen for Todd Redmond, giving his team a chance. 5-0 Cardinals. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Doesn't look it, but 16 degrees out here in Toronto. Game time temperature, or roughly 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and our bullpen will get some work today. Pat Neshek, our Chevy, called to the bullpen.
Just good numbers all around for Pat Neshek, and congratulations on getting his first save in the Kansas City series. That was his first major league save. And 97 minor league saves, and his response was about time.
Likes to pump that strike one in there too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was told that the Blue Jays have had a lot of success against Neshek, but I think he's pitching a little different now, pitching with a lot more confidence.
Tough part of the order too. He's facing Cabrera who now turns around and bats from the left side. Then Bautista and Encarnacion.
Cabrera 1 for 1. I was expecting when I heard that they had good success against Neshek. I was expecting bigger numbers. Jose Reyes has had the most at bats against him, and that's 3. And he's 2 for 3 against him. Reyes trying to help out, trying to give a little pointers what it looks like to stand in the batter's box when you're facing Pat Neshek.
Jammed him a bit. Carries out to the left fielder, John Jay. So a good start for Pat Neshek. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
I was looking at the wrong numbers. Those were against Jason Mott. Bautista 2 for 2 with 2 home runs against Neshek. Cabrera was 0 for 2, now 0 for 3.
And Bautista 0 for 3 today. He and Encarnacion so far just 2 hits in this series. One of them a home run by Bautista, but between the two of them they have 34 home runs and 94 RBIs, but the Cardinals have pitched them very, very well so far in this series. But you got to face them again here in the 8th inning, and a good pitch from Neshek gets that outside corner.
Well, Pat will tell you that last year he got slider happy. And when you reach back, you throw all sliders, reach back, try to throw a fastball, you won't have much velocity. This year, he's throwing much harder. Throw harder with your fastball, then your slider becomes more effective also. I think he's pitching with a lot of confidence right now.
More aggressively. I think
yes.
When you use your fastball, you tend to get that way.
And when you're having good results,
right,
you are aggressive.
1-2.
Pretty good pitch right there. Does not get the call. They did appeal. Off day tomorrow and an off day on Thursday. Need some work for the bullpen.
Good slider there, but not biting is Bautista. I don't know how he laid off that pitch after seeing fastball. That had a sharp break to it. Good discipline. Payoff pitch. And he walked it. Tell you what, you really have something when you've got a power hitter that has patience. And that's walk number 50 for Bautista.
Bautista, leads the league in getting on base. It has to do with those 50 walks.
You have to say he may be the most valuable player in the American League right now, today. May be different next week, next month, and in September. He's having a terrific year, and so is Edwin Encarnacion. 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Big strikeout for Neshek brings in Brett Lawrie. The slider that Batista didn't bite at, Encarnacion does.
Yeah, but look at that pitch. How far outside it is. Say he didn't pick up that spin.
Two outs for Brett Lawrie. Lawrie, as we mentioned, born in British Columbia. Lynn, Miller, and Garcia against a very high-powered offense in this series. 12 hits only.
It all starts with the starting pitching. When you get that type of starting pitching, you should win the series.
Cardinals, as we mentioned, are 2-2 on this road trip. Split in Kansas City. Ground ball handled by Craig. He'll step on the bag. And another 0. Mike Matheny very, very happy with his starting pitching in this series. 5-0 St. Louis. Up and down the lineup, contributions everywhere.
Absolutely. Everybody feels like they're a part of this game, and they have been. It's nice defensive plays behind Garcia. Brett Cecil coming in to pitch for the Jays after outstanding work by Redmond. Goes 5 innings, 4 hits, no walks, and 3 strikeouts.
Face the right-handed batting Tony Cruz in the top of the Cardinals lineup. The lefties Carpenter and Taveras.
Cecil, 28th appearance. He's 0-3 on the year with the 3.63 ERA. He does have 3 saves, as their closer was missed early part of the season.
We saw Cecil in game 1 walk Carpenter, but got Taveras out. So he'll have the same assignments here after he deals with Tony Cruz.
And as expected, Rosenthal going to have the 9th inning. He's thrown in the Cardinal bullpen.
Good fastball at 92 from Cecil. Cardinals with an off day tomorrow. Will be traveling to Tampa. Swing and a miss. And a strikeout of Tony Cruz. Still a good afternoon for Tony Cruz. 1 for 4 with the bat. He's handled Jaime Garcia well. Had a big hit yesterday and a big hit today. So now the left-handers, Matt Carpenter is 1 for 4, but that hit an important one.
Second home run of the year was a 2-run shot. Part of the 4-run second inning.
Fouls that off his foot.
Left-handed hitters are batting .270 against Cecil. Right-handers batters are .216.
Giving Matt Carpenter a little time to get the feeling back. They play Carpenter to pull on the infield. And they're bunching him in the outfield. Blue Jays bullpen has shut down the Cardinals. And he waves at that pitch. That was nasty. Cardinals have managed just 4 hits since the 3rd inning.
And never more than 1 in an inning.
Looking ahead to the Rays series, Wainwright and Jake Odorizzi will pitch against each other on Tuesday. And then the Wednesday game, Michael Wacha and Eric Bedard. Check swing. Blue Jays just have not played up to their potential. 14 games out in the East. Lost 9 of their last 10. And you just, excuse me, the Rays, not the Blue Jays, have lost 9 of their last 10. And as the Cardinals head to Tampa Bay, base hit by Carpenter, you just hope that they don't catch fire at the wrong time.
Well, it's going to be tough for him to do it with Wainwright and Wacha. So that's the best way the Cardinals can neutralize the Rays offense. And you'll have to tell our good friend George Hendrick I said hello. Rich is going to pinch hit here.
I absolutely will. Always look forward to seeing George. American League East a little upside down in terms of the standings. Boston and Tampa Bay are both struggling. Toronto, Baltimore on top, and the Yankees in the middle. A lot of baseball left, however. Nearly 100 games. Grichuk homered here yesterday. And he takes ball 1. Grichuk, Taveras, Wong, all with their first major league home runs in the last 8 days. That's just fun to see.
And we hope there's many, many, many more.
Hitting for Taveras. Oscar was 1 for 4 today. Hard hit right to the shortstop. This could be two, and it is. Cardinals retired here in the ninth. Well hit by Grichuk. One more chance against Rosenthal. Is the Cardinals starter Jaime Garcia, who went 7 solid innings, just 3 hits for Garcia. A lot of ground balls here this afternoon. 106 pitches through 7 innings, and the Cardinals lead the Blue Jays 5-0 going to the bottom of the ninth. Cardinals with 5 runs early, couple home runs, Peralta and Carpenter. And our Chevy call to the bullpen for the ninth is Trevor Rosenthal.
Trevor, see his numbers. He's 0-3, 4.13. That's high. Strikeouts are what we expect, 36 and 28 plus innings. Last appearance was in Kansas City. And 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. That was a game where he blew the save. And I think we're going to see a different Trevor Rosenthal here.
The pitch 95 to the pinch hitter, Anthony Gose, who we've seen quite a bit in this series. And this is high, 1-1. Jams in. Ellis retires Gose. Out number 1. So far so good for Trevor Rosenthal.
See if you agree with this observation. Rosenthal, he's gotten his velocity back. You're seeing consistently 96 to 98 miles an hour. But we're not seeing the same finish of those pitches. The life on those pitches where it really just takes off, and probably his swing and misses are way down.
At least on a consistent basis. Seems like there are times he has it, but there times he doesn't. I agree with you. There's a strike 1 to Navarro, who's bounced out 3 times to Matt Carpenter.
Navarro's 2 for 3 out for Trevor.
Good changeup from Rosenthal.
You throw as hard as he does, and then you throw that changeup. Like it better at 87 than 90.
May throw it again. He's a lot of confidence. You talk about swing and miss. He has a lot of confidence on that changeup in terms of a swing and miss.
And he should. He sells it very well.
Fastball hit hard to center field. Borges on the move and makes the play in the left center field gap. He can cover some ground, can't he?
And when he goes left and right, he really does And if that ball hangs up, allows him to run underneath it, he'll make the play. Not a safe situation, but a very valuable tune-up right here.
Adam Lind, starting first baseman for the Blue Jays, will pinch hit. Last chance for Toronto.
Pretty good numbers as a pinch hitter there.
Cardinals hoping to take 2 out of 3 with a victory here this afternoon from the powerful Blue Jays. 1-1. Rosenthal trying to nail down the victory for Jaime Garcia, hoping to win his second. Cardinals hoping to go 2 games over 500. And there's a ground ball to second. This is going to be a tough play. On to first, not in time. Lynn beats it out.
Mark Ellis trying to take a page out of Loy's book, playing second base, playing short right field. That sounds good. We've seen some hits taken away, but when you get a little clunker, a high turf bounce, he's got to run all the way in. He makes a nice play of it, but playing so deep, it cost the base hit here. And clearly safe. So the game is extended a little longer.
So we're seeing the 3 left-handers off the bench this inning for the Blue Jays, all sitting against the lefty Garcia. We've seen Gose already, Lind. Now it's Juan Francisco pinch hitting, and strike 1 on him.
Not the only position player we have not seen in this series is Josh Tolley
from the Metro East. He's busy when R.A. Dickey's pitching. A strike on the inside corner, 0-2. So the Blue Jays down to their last strike. 5-0 Cardinals.
You're going to be out there for the 27th out and get those handshakes. There's nothing better than doing it with a strikeout.
Will he get one? The 0-2. He tried 99. 99 in the eyes is, well, kind of hard to hit. Maybe change up here.
No matter what, end it. Change up, but up.
2-2. Francisco, like many Blue Jays, having a good season. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Rosenthal strikes out Francisco to end it. And the Cardinals take 2 out of 3 here in Toronto. Back-to-back shutouts as the Cardinals starting pitching shines here in Toronto.
Well, they put it all together. Not only did they have the shutout, but they also had the offense, scoring 5 runs. Cardinals pick up their 12th shutout. Their pitchers have got 12 shutouts now.
Outstanding performance here by the Cardinal pitching this weekend. Rosenthal finishes it off, but we're not done yet because the postgame show is coming up next.